Hello everyone, this is Seneca the Younger. Today we will be reviewing Graceland by Ellen Bryon, published in 1998. Bryon has various awards under her belt, including the Agatha for the Best Contemporary Novel. This Left Coast author uses Graceland to depict a story between two Elvis fans, both of whom believe they hold the claim to be the first to enter the Graceland Manor. The Graceland Manor is the museum sort of mansion that holds a bunch of Elvis Presley's famous rock and roll trinkets and so on. These two girls are Bev and Rudy. Bev is more mature, more strict, more authoritative, and has children. Rudy, who doesn't have any children, comes across as being more naive, being infatuated with her makeup, refusing to take it off, and being simple, yet charming. Both women are from the 1950s, and this whole play gives that sort of feel. It has a sort of dramatic feel and theme, in spite of it being such a one-setting sort of play, revolving entirely around the entrance to the Graceland Manor. When it comes to seeing which one of the two is the protagonist, well, neither of them truly are. Whereas the play starts with Rudy, it ends up with Bev walking away in an almost heroic sort of fashion. Both are given about an equal amount of screen time. So I have to pull you aside now. What really makes a protagonist? Well, one, audience identification, which means that they give a window into the story for the audience. Both characters manage to do that. Growth, which means that they should be gaining new sorts of knowledge or wisdom. However, both of them do this. Bev learns to not be such a stickler, whereas Rudy learns to be more mature. 3. Action, which means to be doing something, making decisions. However, both characters make about an equal amount of decisions and perform an equal amount of actions. 4. Sacrifice. Spoiler alert, but Bev chooses to secede her spot to Rudy. And Rudy falls asleep, giving Bev the chance to take the spot or to enter first. In this way, they both sacrifice their spot in the line. 5. Dealing with death. And this doesn't have to be literal, but Rudy has to deal with the death of the concept that she cannot be so whimsical anymore. Not everything is a fairy tale as she seems to make up in the story. After all, she believes that she can revive both Elvis and her deceased former partner just by wishing it hard enough. Bev, on the other hand, has to allow the fact that this might not be the most important thing in her life and that there's other things she should be dedicating to. There are other things that are more important. 6. To be a fish out of water. This means they must be thrust into a new world, which both of them are. This new world is the different person. They are both delving into the very polar, very different minds of the other person. So, the ending of the story, well, it means acceptance in a way. The acceptance of a new world, of a new beginning, of the passing on of loved ones, of idols, and so on. Accepting new hobbies, new interests, and accepting that which might be more important. This is why I tend to prefer the one where Bev ends up walking out on Rudy in the end, whereas Rudy just enjoys her sleep. Now, how did I think they did? They did good, I liked it. The reason why I liked it was because the traditional values and the importance placed upon the ideas of family, of sticking together to one's husband, and of course the importance of women in the family role, which of course is pivotal in society. This is of course why, of course it might be a critique also to some degree of all of those ideals. However, I still think it represents it in a valid enough manner for me to have enjoyed it that way. Now, do I think this play is worth seeing, or reading, or watching, however you want to consume it? And yes, I do really think that is worth seeing. It's because of that 1950s feel that they do genuinely make, and the degree to which they hold on to that might feel critical of it, but also feels very honest. It feels very straightforward about it. So, who might be enjoying this? I think fans from the 1950s, of course, Elvis Presley fans, and fans of rock and roll. Regardless, it still holds up as a great, dramatic, historic piece. This was Seneca the Younger, and this was my review of the Graceland play.